Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Blazers. It's John Blaze up in this with another live. Man, what a crazy day in the Philippines. What a crazy day in the Philippines. Some crazy stuff. Got Mindanao flooding, landslides, killing people, earthquakes. It's nuts. But it's just another day in the Philippines, I guess. Just another day in the Philippines. So, little bit of an update. The the Gcash is going strong. Um, with a lot of help from Fazio's friends and long-term subscribers and people who just wanted to help out Daisy have come through big, and it's much appreciated, which is a little refreshing. Um, with all this going on, there's a certain individual that's what's up, doctor? Um, there's a certain individual that displays some sort of hellacious amount of jealousy that Fazio in his death had enough friends in life to help Daisy out, because Fazio's gone. He's not stressed out about any of this. He don't care no more. It's over for him, and it is what it is. But the one person that showed up is there trying to do the right thing, and that's all there is to say about it. Just trying to get the right thing done. And she's there. Hey, Gary. Let me say that I speak a certain way on these live streams for a reason. And I know you're not about the drama, and that's a good thing. Is it okay to say, well, you already put it in my comment section. So Gary in the chat here is generous enough to help Daisy get the funds to pay the medical bill. Because this is what's kind of happening. And I haven't talked to Daisy today, so let me preface this by that. But I was talking to the wife today about the whole body thing and the freezer and everything else. And she pretty much told me that you have to pay it all before they'll release the body. So basically, they hold that body hostage to get payment. And me and her had a little discussion about, because she kind of brought up it's a business, it's a hospital, it needs its payment and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, but let's just say, you're just a poor Filipino family and your brother, your uncle passes away, gets hit by a jeepney, whatever it is, and he passes away, and now he's in the freezer, and his medical bill could be 5,000 pesos. She says what you do is you go all over the place borrowing 100, 200, 300, whatever you can to get the money up as fast as possible to get the hospital fee paid because you can't get the body until the medical is paid. And if you don't pay the medical, you don't get the body. And some people have funerals in the Philippines for people who don't even have a body. And they'll just have a fiesta and a candlelight vigil, and they do the best that they can. And the government will do something with the body in the end. The hospital will dispose of the body in the end. Whenever they realize that they're not going to get any money, they'll do something about it. Fazio being a foreigner, they're not letting that body go. So they want payment, and I understand that, and that's okay that they want payment. I think it's a little, weird that you can't at least pay the freezer fee and pay a company funeral parlor to come get the body, to cremate the body, and do it that way. I don't know all the logistics of that. I know there's services out there that will do that, but until they won't release the body to the funeral home until the hospital bill's paid. Now in Fazio's situation, I know that Gary gave Daisy the money to take care of the hospital bill. Okay. So, and I gave Daisy enough money to take care of the freezer fees and her transportation and her, hopefully enough for her to get back home, and to whatever, how many days that it's there. And everyone goes, well, what about his family? And what about, well, evidently his family doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Okay. Families are weird. It's not like my family. The thing that, I do not have a family like Michael's family. They would be moving mountains to get my body, and they would be en route to the Philippines. They would do whatever the hell it took. Yes. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for the update. So yeah, my family would be all over this. And I'm glad I can say that. My wife would only have to make one phone call to the States and say, my husband has passed, his body's stuck. Just so happened he was there in the hospital for 2 to 3 weeks in ICU. The bill's 1.2 million pesos and all this other stuff. And she can make one phone call and it would be taken care of. But that is not Michael's situation. That's not Michael's situation. And Daisy is not his current girlfriend, but was his longtime girlfriend. And, I know she's super stressed, and I know that she's doing everything she can. And I know she's getting a lot of help from people like Gary and Fazio's friends and people she knows to try to get things moving in the right direction. And Gary did say that she had to pay to get a power of attorney for the release, and she's moving forward with the final arrangements. So there you go. When she had 0 peso, she couldn't do that. Now that she has received some financial support from Fazio's friends and viewers, she is able to move forward with these arrangements. So whoever donated, whoever helped financially, thank you. No matter what anyone else says, no matter what, when you give in the spirit of helping someone else, that's it. You know, when I see a homeless person holding a sign on the side of the road that says homeless, anything helps, and I give that guy a $20 bill, at that point, what's good for the soul is that I recognize someone needs help, and it moved me to give that $20 to that homeless person, and I'm done with it at that point. If that homeless person then goes and buys crack with it, or goes and shoots up heroin with it, or drinks it, or does whatever it is, thank you, Gary. Gary said his brother did grant Daisy power of attorney, so she has legal rights to Michael's to advocate in all things. So there you go. Thank you again, Gary, for that update. Gary's on the ground there, not like literally in Behold, but he's on the same time zone, and he's so let me not get sidetracked by the chat. So so everyone who decided to help Daisy, yes, Gary. See, there's a lot of things I don't even want to say on here, but Gary's putting it out there, and I knew about that. Daisy's on the lease for the land that Fazio leased, and there's a payment attached to that every month. So she's on the hook. She could be on the hook. Basically, if my wife and me talked about that as well, and she was like, "Look, you can tell the owner, like, hey, he passed. I mean, what can we do? I don't live here. I don't live here," and negotiate an exit plan. I'm sure that excavator could be used as a settlement. And I'm just spitballing here. I don't know what the plan is about stuff, because stuff is not what really matters. The way I look at it, this whole thing goes away when Fazio's out of that freezer and put to rest, and Daisy goes home. If the rats come and pick through whatever's left Fazio's things, that's just it. It's sad, but it is what it is. So yeah. True, Gary. True. So this is something that's nuts, okay? Yes, Michael owns that excavator. Okay? Michael owns an excavator. Yes, he owns a rebar bender. Yes, he has all these tools. You got to imagine he's got cups, he's got bags, he's got power tools, grinders. He's got all this stuff. But if you have no one to buy this stuff, yes, Gary, even though he has all this stuff, you got to have someone with money to buy it. If you think that when Michael went down to the rebar bender store and bought it for, let's say, $3,000, do you think he can turn around and sell it to the neighbor for $3,000? No. Neighbor probably doesn't need a rebar bender. You know, with the amount of equipment that, yeah, the amount of equipment that and tools that Michael has, a lot of it is specialized. So someone that might be interested in that stuff would be a contractor that builds huge buildings or runs a lot of crews or something like that. A lot of these tools are from the States. So they run on 110. There's a lot of little things that, I haven't even thought about. So it is what it is. The whole reason for the Gcash for Daisy is that she remains whole. If she had 2,000 pesos to her name, the good thing is when she gets home, she still has 2,000 pesos to her name. The great thing about Fazio's friends and subscribers and people who have donated and people like Flying Circus who put her Gcash out, she wants to do with any money, whatever it is, then fine. This isn't a scam to try to get people to donate to a cause just to enrich their pockets and have nothing to do with it. Kind of like the dog food fund, kind of like the let's raise money for Odette to fix the roof, and the roof never gets fixed. Stuff like that. The guy of the most hate, he wants to say that this is the same thing that happened to Mike Kaysen. No. Apples and oranges. Mike Kaysen had his YouTube channel for the sole purpose of profit and exploitation of poor Filipinas. And that's his thing. I'm not saying that's bad, wrong, indifferent, whatever, but that was his thing. The youngest, the freshest Filipinas that he could get at his advanced age, that was his audience. And then that's where a lot of the people started tracking him and making derogatory comments about him and his channel and all this other stuff because of that, that what he was portraying on his channel. He would find a young, good-looking Filipina. He would befriend her, pound her out, take her on his motorcycle, go to her house, see how in poverty she's living, exploit the family, take a couple hundred pesos, get a couple of bags of concrete, have it mixed up on cam and dumped in the living room and leveled out. And he would be like, "We're helping these people out. Please donate," wearing a shirt that said donate, like how to his YouTube channel. I mean, it was all about it. But let me tell you about Mike Kaysen, is that when his health went to shit, like when he knew That's when he latched on to that older woman, and she was taking care of him. And he gave up on the before he gave up on all the young ones. He he uh he latched on to this older Filipina that was taking care of him. And then he goes to the hospital. He's still drawing in money. He starts talking about the medication he needs to be on. And he was asking people to buy his medicine or he's going to die. If you don't donate, I'm going to die. You know, and then he would live stream himself having heart attacks. And that's how he got the name Heart Attack Mike, because he would live stream him having so-called heart attacks, trying to get money. And there's a reason why I'm telling you all this. There's a reason why I'm going back in time here to kind of paint this picture. Constantly, money, money, give me money. I need more medicine. I had a category 4 heart attack last night. Y'all saw me on the last live stream. I had to go to the hospital, and they gave me 2 IVs of Mang Tomas in my IV so I could get my heart attacks under control. And they ordered me more medicine, and I got to take 36 different medicines now. I don't have the money. Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he died. And his woman went in there and took video, took over his channel, because Mike knew this day was coming. So he gave her all the monetization. He gave her all the passwords. He set everything up. She had a PIN number to his debit card. She did all that stuff, and he was teaching her YouTube while he was sick. And then he died. And her first video is her filming his body. And till this day, I believe, she's still on his channel doing the same stuff, cashing it in. Now, I just told you a story about Mike Kaysen. And everyone that knows Michael Fazio, the great Michael Fazio, the great Rabbi Jew Bacher, did y'all see any of that happen over all these years? I didn't think so. None of the stuff I just talked about with Michael Fazio or Mike Kaysen are the same, other than they both died and they both had YouTube channels. Fazio was a proud man, a real man, and he never begged. He had too much pride. And if you don't know, then you just don't know because you didn't talk to him. Gary knows. Gary knows exactly what I'm talking about. Fazio wouldn't let you pay for a truck ride and not tell you, I got it, even though he didn't have any pesos in his pocket for whatever reason. He says, I'm going to pay for this, but you pay for it, I'll pay you back. And I'm like, no, you don't have to pay me back. It's just a truck ride. Me and my wife and you and everyone's going over here. I'll pay for the damn truck ride. I'm going to pay for the truck ride anyway. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to Fazio. Guess what? The next day he shows up with all these pesos and hands it to me. He goes, that's for all the truck rides and the coffee. And I'm like, no, man, you can keep it. He's like, no, I want you to have it. I want to treat you, is what he said. I wanted to treat you and your wife to that night out. So I'm paying for everything. He kept track of everything I was paying for, and he came back the next day with money. Exactly. Thank you, Gary. He did not mind. He never mind you giving him super chat, super thanks, because in his mind, he was earning it because he was entertaining you. He was putting his time and effort into something, and y'all were giving back appreciation to him, even though he knew that YouTube was taking 30% right off the top. Even though him knowing that, he could have set up his own Gcash and just put that on his channel and totally circumvented the whole YouTube super chat process. He could have just circumvented the whole thing and kept the 30%. You don't think Michael thought of that? He did think of that. But then he felt like he shouldn't do that because that would be cheating. That would be cheating YouTube. The platform that allowed him to entertain everybody, the platform that allowed him to speak his mind, as crazy as sometimes it might have been, as rough as it could have been to listen to. I want to tell you something. And I could never tell Michael this. I could never tell Michael because I was afraid that he would cuss me out and never talk to me again. But he would do like 5, 6, 7-hour live streams, right? And I'd start listening to him, and I'd literally plug my phone up and get ready to go to bed, and I'd pass out. We're talking like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'd pass out, you know? And excuse me, sorry for that. Thank you for all the thumbs up, guys. Thank you for the couple nanoseconds that you had to smash that. So I'd be listening to his live stream, and then he'd be live streaming about going to the center of the flat earth with Carvala, Carl, Novella, and his expedition to the center of the flat earth and all this other shit. And I would pass out. But then someone on that chat would give him a super chat, right? And give him a super chat. I've been dead ass asleep for 3 hours, 4 hours. And he would be banging that freaking pot. And it would wake my ass up out of a dead ass sleep. I jump out of the bed and I look over, and it's Fazio fucking banging on that damn pot, waking me up. I look at the damn clock. It's like 2 a.m. now. And I've got to shut it off because it woke me the hell up. And that happened multiple times. And I just knew. I learned. He taught me a lesson. Hey, watch until you want to go to sleep, Blaze. And if you're going to sleep, you better turn my ass off because I'm start banging a pot when I'm making a lot, and it's going to wake you up. But I never told him that story because if I said, hey, I just fell asleep to your live stream, he'd be pissed. He would say, why'd you have to tell me that, John? Say it just like that. Why'd you have to tell me that, John? You're kind of pissing me off now, John. And that happened all the time. You know, if I sent super chat to Barry, boy, my phone would be ringing during the fucking live stream. Why did you send that motherfucker $5? He would call. And I'd be like, I'm just fucking with him. I just figured he needed a little something. He can get him a can of Hormel chili. You know, it's my money. And Fozzie would say, you're right. It's your money. I just wanted to know why in the hell you do that. But he never said that to me when I sent him money. He never said that. He was always very grateful. And sometimes he'd go on these marathon live streams, and I would go to sleep, wake up the next day, And I sent him some super chat, I don't know, a couple $100 or something. And I'd wake up to messages, and it'd be like, "Thank you for coming by the live stream, John. Thank you for the super chat. It's much appreciated. You have no idea." He would send me a side note. He would follow up. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that when some people need a little help. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that Daisy just needs a little help. And when she's over this hump, she'll be a better person for it. She's learning a lot. She's enduring a lot. It's making her stronger. She's in the fire. She's in the forge, and her metal will be a lot harder when this is over with. And, people say, "John, why don't you just pay for the whole thing?" First of all, I don't know how much it's supposed to cost. I don't know. I didn't know, what the number is. I still don't know. This has to happen in layers. First, what's the first 50-meter target? Okay, that's 1,000 pesos. Got it. Now, what's the next one? 2,000 to rent the vehicle to do whatever. Got it. Whatever. Gary stepped up in a big way. He took a big chunk of that off the plate. I don't know, and it ain't about who gives the most or whatever. It doesn't matter how much money is raised. I hope that 70 grand gets raised. I hope that everybody who hears the video, everyone who hears Flying Circus, everyone who watches Gary on Big Kevin's channel, everyone who's here, the hate master and his rants about Daisy getting any money, and it funnels him right back to these places where she can get something for what she's doing. And if she walks away with $70,000 in her pocket, well, guess what? At least she's the one that showed up. And the price sometimes and the reward of showing up when someone calls, you benefit from it. And if there was a way that I could have got there, if I would have known, if I didn't have a whole shit ton of stuff going on where I could be there, I'd have been there. But he didn't call me because he knew I couldn't make it. He knew there would be no way. And he would never ask me to do that. That's what's crazy. This is what irritates me sometimes about dealing with Michael. I talked to him on the phone. He could have told me. He was already looking bad, and he was very weak. And he was telling me that it takes him 25 minutes just to get water. So his water containers are outside his door. Now, everyone knows that he lives in a small box. He would have to get off the bed, hobble to the door, step down onto the step, and sit down. He's already out of breath. He's already winded, is what he told me. And he'd have to sit there for forever how long. And then he would get up and he'd get over to the water and he would drink water right there. He'd get a bunch of water in him and he'd rest because he knew he had to make it back to the bed. And then he reversed the process, and he said he timed it. And it was like 21 to 28 minutes just to get water. And he'd be wiped out. And I said, "Man, that don't sound good, dude." I said, "Are you eating?" He says, "Yeah, at first I was trying to see if I could accelerate the healing process, the water fast. But then I realized maybe I should actually eat food because it would probably help better in the healing process." sounded. And I told him, you need anything, you let me know. And he said, thanks for his last words to me was like, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bam. I could have said, John, I'm freaking dying out here. I'm sweating my bag off. I don't know what's going on. I tried this, I tried that. I can barely get water. And I'd be like, all right, go to the hospital and let me know. You can call whoever it is. I'll send money to your Gcash, whatever you need. But I think he knew that. I think he knew I would do that. And I really do think that he truly believes he's going on right now. You know, this is, you're dealing with very, very, very strong, stubborn. And these rumors that I hated him ever, before I ever came on YouTube, I was already friends with Michael. If I ever uploaded a video to YouTube, I was already friends with Michael. We already met in person. The reason why I started YouTube is because of Michael. He said, you should do YouTube. So I decided to do some YouTube. Some of the videos I've done, I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, were inspired by Michael Fazio. Michael Fazio would actually send me show notes for my show. That is the type of dude Michael was. Yes, coffee time. If you super chatted freaking Big Kevin, you are going to freaking get it. Holy crap. So I said all this, sorry to be rambling or what have you. This is not a burden to anybody listening on YouTube. This isn't your burden. It is not your responsibility. The only thing that was asked is that if you knew the situation, if you knew Michael and you knew the situation and you've been following him for a while and you know Daisy and you know she's just a sweet girl from the province that don't want to hurt anybody, never has. Very, very, very sweet, caring individual and a freaking saint, okay? She has to be granted sainthood when she passes. When her time is to pass, she must get sainted because she lived with Michael. You have to understand when you have conversations with Michael outside of him being a showman, he's very difficult. And she lived in that. She probably could not have gotten him to go to the hospital either if she was there the whole time. It would have caused problems if she mentioned it. That's why sometimes it's better to be separated than together. To love someone from afar sometimes is better than being in the mix, because some people are just fucking hard to get along with and they're insufferable at sometimes. But she is a saint. She is doing what a lot of people would never do for anyone else. She's doing something that family won't even do for her family. So if she walks away with a bucket of money, I don't care. Because the only reason why she walks away with a bucket of money is because people banded together to help her in Michael's name. And you know what? In a weird way, if that, I know I'm just speaking kind of spitballing here, but let's just say she received so much money and love from YouTube over this whole situation that she was able to actually like build a livable, like good, modern kind of like house where she's at. Man, Michael would be freaking stoked looking down on that. He would probably say something to the effect, "It took me dying to give her what she deserved." I don't know, something to that effect. So what is the plan? What is the plan for all of you that are living in the Philippines? If you were to croak right now, are you leaving your family or girlfriend or wife with some sort of bag that she's holding? She's holding a bag of shit basically to deal with? Or do you have it squared away? See, my thing is I have everything squared away here in the United States. If anything happens to me, it's taken care of. You know? But when I travel to the Philippines, is my T's crossed and my I's dotted like they should be? No, I can honestly say I've run the gauntlet many a times. If something happens to me in the Philippines, it would be not as smooth as I'd like it. And that's why I'm considering prepaying for services, because you can do that. You pay an upfront amount. If you pass, they take care of everything. Family pays the whatever bill you have at the hospital, and then the services come in and take care of the rest, all the way to putting you into the ground, or all the way to cremation and putting you in an urn. All the way. The wife or the loved one, all she has to do is make a phone call to the services and they go pick you up. And if I'm going to make that move to the Philippines years from now, when I'm ready, if I'm ever ready to give up and live over there, then that will be one of the first things I make sure I pay up before I even go. So, we all got to make our end of life plans. My first will and testament I filled out when I was 19 years old. And I've had a will, a living will, ever since. And I remember the thought process. I remember the first thing when they asked me, "Do you have a will?" And I had to be explained at 19 what a will was. And then I had to sit down and make one. And I think I put my computer, my Hewlett Packard, with my Windows 98 series on it. And all my clothes and effects, my TV, and my landline phone, and that's it. That's all I had. That was my first will. Who gets my stuff? And as I acquired more things and everything, my will changed. But it was weird having to think about that at 19. And the fact that I thought that my little stupid computer um, running Windows 98 was something that people would be fighting over. But it's just crazy to think about that at the time, being so young when your life is just starting and you're moved out and you're out boozing it up with your buddies and seeing all new things and new chicks everywhere and just having it. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. So and I wanted to just touch on this a little bit. This is getting a little long for me. In the Blaze channel, we don't usually blast 40 something minutes of it. Is if you run in on YouTube, you spend enough time watching these videos, you'll get suggested things and you'll see headlines where they use your name or they use another person's name to grab attention. And the thing is there are people out there that are super jealous, envious, angry, just a dark heart. Everything that's wrong in life is them. They're just jealous that Daisy might end up with $1. They're just so jealous that she might end up with $1. And then when they find out that she might walk away with more than $1, they start throwing out things like, oh, you could have went downstairs in the hospital and went to the government and they would have been able to cut the bill in half, which would have saved on the hospital bill, and they would have waived the freezer fees, and they would have, then the Braun guy would come up when he would show up, the Braun guy's going to show up with all this money, and they're going to buy him a bad ass casket and bring him all the way to somewhere where he could have a devout. Hey, take it easy, Gary. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for all the information and everything that you've done. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to emailing you. So you got this whole freaking thing. And it's just hating on her, right? Just hating on Daisy. We're going to save her money now. We're going to give her all these, where she's going to watch all these YouTube videos that are going to say, you can do this and you can do that and you can do this and you can do that. When really all she did was walk into the hospital and say, how do I get Michael's body out of there? And they said, well, first of all, you got to pay this bill and you got to pay this bill and you got to pay that bill. Then you got to have some people pick it up. And oh, by the way, we need power of attorney and blah, blah. We need this and we need that and we need this and we need that. And that's exactly what she did. No one at the hospital says, oh, you can go to the Braun guy. Oh, you can go to the bullshit Philippines and beyond. Nobody is hating on Daisy. Do a lap around YouTube genre and then come back and you'll see what I'm talking about. So all these other suggestions on how to get out of having to pay this bill. So where in the beginning, when Fazio passed, was nothing but hate stream after hate stream after hate stream about Fazio, hate stream about Fazio, hate stream about Fazio. And then the same person found out that Daisy might walk away with a peso or two. And now it's going, oh, she could have done this. And oh, this is all she had to do. And she's going to walk away with the money. And oh, she doesn't want to be transparent. Oh. Golly, I've never seen such hatred to a young Filipino girl who's just trying to do the right thing. Did I donate to Daisy? You damn right I did. I gave her plenty of money. And I'm not rich. I've never been rich. I've never said I'm rich. Only someone super poor would think that I'm rich. Like I look at like Bill Gates and stuff like that. That's freaking rich to me. That is rich to me. Because he can get on a private jet and fly anywhere in the world he wants, and he can buy the private jet. He can go to the outer space whenever he wants. That's rich to me. But the fact that I have a grill that costs $250, someone thinks that I'm rich because I have a $200.50 grill. And that I have a vehicle to drive. Oh my God. Okay, change Bill Gates to Elon Musk. If you don't know who Elon Musk is, I can't help you. Hello, Mike Ross. So yeah, it's crazy. So I have a vehicle. Yes. Can I take jeepneys and trikes around the United States to go places like the grocery store? In fact, how am I supposed to get anywhere? I'm rich because I have a form of transportation? No. I'm rich because I have a house to live in? No. I mean, I'm just making it. I'm just making it day by day here in the United States. I'm at home. I'm not working. I'm not doing any of that. I'm at home. I've been in the Philippines for like ever, and now I'm home. So, but I'm going to dig deep and help Daisy. Sick grandpa, you're still in denial that he's even passed. Come on now. Oh, by the way, let me go back. Let me scroll who's here. The Great Foz was my first and one and only moderator on my channel. So I'm going to have to make someone a moderator. And there you go. I put Gary as a moderator. Grandpa, we've been telling you that for days. So, man, 32 people here. So yeah, so we're trying to do this thing, just trying to help Daisy, and that's it. That's all we're trying to do. Yeah, the shit's cost. It's not free. It's not free. Which then goes to the whole thing. Like you got to have a little setback in case you die. Well, I guess if you're the one that's dying, who cares, right? I guess if you care enough, you'll set someone else up to take care of you. But anyway, back to the hater, Mr. Hate. It pisses him off so bad when anybody helps anybody. When people help Barry, he would go off on tirades. When people donated to Sick Grandpa / Ricky Drama, it sends him into fucking outer space. When people donate to Popeye, outer space. Big Kevin, outer space. Now Daisy, different universe. It's just crazy. It's crazy how hateful this man can be. The biggest reason why the location of Fazio has to stay hidden is because certain individual will find and dig him up and waller on top of him like a pig in shit and try to remove a part of his body to keep in his room next to pictures on the wall. We're dealing with sick people. Sick people. People say that people are, sick or crazy or what. No, that's just YouTube banter back and forth with the craziness. But when you are so hateful and when you're so, determined to desecrate a dead man's body, which is like illegal as you can get, just to get that memento, that trophy you can put besides your other trophies, is sickening. But we're not here to talk about Mr. Hate. I'm just wanted to give you an update and tell you thank you for helping out Daisy. Just, we'll keep up updating you on what's going on. I will be so excited to let all you Blazers know that when Fazio's body is out of the hospital, I'll keep y'all updated all the way until Daisy leaves the island and goes home. So with that being said, thank you for everyone who came to the live stream, and thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you, Sick Grandpa, for showing up to the live chat and being somewhat like, I hate to say normal, but and Sick Grandpa, I see your videos and I see your videos about me and stuff, and that's fine. I understand. I think I get you. I think I get the whole shtick kind of, and I think I figured out, you know, I think I figured out your thing. I appreciate you doing videos about me because it seems like every time you do that, my subscribers go up. And I'm not saying that to be weird or anything, but I did notice that you've been doing these videos and I finally been getting some substantial amount of subscribers, which you do have. And you have like this Thailand genre following you too. So you kind of like opened me up to that type of shit. So in a weird way, thank you. All you Blazers out there, I hope you're doing good. Keep killing it. Just keep killing it. If you're out there living a 1-star lifestyle up in northern Cebu, then it is. If you're living the 2-star lifestyle, which is where John Blaze sits in the 2-star lifestyle, self-proclaimed 2-star. It's nice here in 2 stars. 3 stars, that was I don't know what 3-star is actually. Y'all just think of your own 3-star, 4-star. And we all know what 5 stars looks like. There's people out there living that 5-star. Is there a 6-star? I don't know. When you're living 5-star, do you eat Michelin stars? I don't know. These are questions that need to be answered. Please, after the video, if you know the answers to that question, go ahead and leave a comment. And I hope everyone has a great one. Thank all of you for coming out. Mike Ross, I'm the Blazer. There you go. There you go. It's all good in the hood. So y'all have a good one. It's freaking late. I got shit to do tomorrow. Super Bowl's tomorrow. Leave down in the chat or leave down in the comments who you picked to win the Super Bowl. And I'll be eating probably Pansit and Lumpia and all that shit tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, I will be doing a video of my blood work that I had done. I will just read it off. That will be my, y'all will know my numbers on my cholesterol, my A1C, my PSA, all that shit. No, Fazio didn't have diabetes. He didn't have diabetes. He, when he went to the doctor, he was told that he was like a couple of ticks away from being pre-diabetic. That's what started his weight loss. His blood pressure and being told that he could be he was almost a pre-diabetic. So, which is like anything A1C above like a 6 is pre-diabetic, and he was probably hovering around 5.5. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Don't listen to Mr. Hate and all his hate. What's Onzit? Panzit. Panzeet. All right. Have a good one. John Blaze out.